Okay, I'm gonna get you right down there. See that? That's from where I put my feet, and see how it moves around. So if I just take my knife, my putty knife, and all I'm doing is resituating that wet material that's still under there. Do you see what I'm saying? And once I reposition it, I'm not repositioning the dry rubber as much as I'm repositioning the wet, the gooey roofing material that's still there underneath. Okay, and I can see that I'm doing it just fine. Look at that. That one pretty much went away. And I see it right there, and it looks like I should go to the left more so than to the right. And I got that one down. And this one is towards the back a little bit, but the back needs to stay up high too. So I need to just kind of do it easy and see what I can do about getting it about where I think. And because I won't be stepping on it again, once I put that other material on there and just let it set, it's going to dry without moving around. Okay, I'm taking the bottom and pushing it up and pushing it up that way, so I don't have a high hump at the bottom. And now I'm taking it from the left and moving it over to the right and up. And repositioning that. And look at that. I've got her. It's still flexible underneath. But I'm not going to be stepping on that step anymore, am I? Okay. There we go. That's looking nice there. Okay. Now, all I'm going to have to do is get my 6-inch knife on there now. And I'm pretty sure I've got enough left in here to do that. And maybe I'll use my little knee pad for this one. The rest of the time I was standing up, so I didn't really need it as much as I thought I would. I need it to the edge, so I just put some on the end of my knife to get it over where I want it. Okay. And now I can resituate the rest that I have in my pan. Another reason to keep it all nice and clean, so I can grab it knowing that I'm not going to scrape off any dry little spots on there, and I can put it on there. Wipe it off. I took just a hair too much off right there. Okay. If at first you don't succeed, try again, right? And if I need to get any more in my pan, I can just grab some more. See, it's once you start, it's hard to go back over it. Okay, there. So when I go back over it, I can put more pressure on the left-hand side and leave the right-hand side just slightly floating, if need be, in order not to gain any lines. And see, because I'm going over it again, I've got to fill in as I go. That's why once you start, you almost have to just keep going, and that's why it's kind of looking like a skip trowel I'm putting on there. And I don't mind. It actually looks pretty good. Okay. And if I have a few little edges, they're going to relax to a certain extent, the edge, and it should be fine. If not, and you have an edge in the morning, you can lightly scrape your edge with a sharp putty knife. See, I hardly had to put any material on to cover those highs and lows, and I don't think I'm going to have enough in my pan. That's all right. I've got more in my bucket. We'll see. I thought I was going to have to put more on there. Look at that. I think I might just barely have enough. Almost like I had it planned. Oh, I will have to get more because remember, I wanted to do that down there. That's okay. I think I'm gonna leave that, and I'll have to get a little bit more in there. But before I do that, I'll just gently get this edge here. Okay. I'm hardly pressing on it at all. You know? I'm not going to touch that. Okay. There you go. Now I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix that down there. I'm just going to put a little bit on there and skim it up with my 4-inch knife, or probably my 4-inch knife, and see how that goes. But see how it almost looks like I got a textured look on there. I don't know if you can see that through the light or not, but all my stairs look pretty much the same. And I didn't have to hardly put any on that bottom step after I reconfigured that. Okay, now I'm going to let that dry. Oh, you want to see that last little bit? Okay, I'll show you that last little bit, and hopefully, I'm hoping it's going to stay there, not sag down. If it sags down a little bit, then I'll have to put a little bit more on tomorrow to fix whatever it sags. But I'm glad I'm in the shade now and not in the sun. If I was in the sun right now, there's no way I could put this material on that riser piece on there expecting it to stay exactly where it is without sagging. You see what I mean? Okay, so yep, I've got to get a little bit more material and I'll be ready to go. I'm going to keep you way out here just to have you stay out of my way. Let's see if I can't do this. Yeah, I guess I could do it with this my 4-inch knife. It's already starting to run. I might be able to get enough on there to where it will look a lot better than it does now. Maybe I can put it on with my little 1.5 inch blade first. And see, I've got some on my step, and I'm not going to wipe it off. I'm just going to let it set there until it dries, and I can peel it off. You know what I mean? I was thinking about just leaving it. I thought, no, I always like to try to do the best I can and it's working. That's looking a lot better. And what I'll have to do is let this dry, and then it looks like I'll have to put some more on, which I could do. To get it looking exactly how I want. Okay? Alright, that's all I can do right now. I got some ridges on there, and I'll just take my paintbrush and kind of blend in above there. There. And once that dries, then I'll put some more up. I should have, you know what I should have done on that? I should have done that the very first thing, shouldn't I have? But then chances are I would have gotten it, I would have got my toes in it or something. I could see where I should have pulled it down lower. Lower down, right down in there, huh? I think I'm just gonna, that's all I can do for today on that. And I'll clean this out, put it away, and I'm sure I'll be out here tomorrow. I'll be out there tomorrow to touch that up, and maybe I'll even do the top 2 stairs like I should have, but I didn't. Okay. And right there is where I poured from, so I'll just put it back in from right there. And I'll just get this as best I can. I don't want to get it perfect because I don't want to get any goobers that have dried up possibly in my pan. Okay? So that's all I'm going to put back in there. And then I'll take my paintbrush, because I poured from right here, so I've got good material from here all the way down. See all this? Look at all that. And then I can do the whole bottom around, because I've lowered it down in the 5-gallon bucket by 2 inches. So if I get that last 2 inches and get it back in there, that's a lot of material I've got on the side of my bucket that might be just what I needed, you know, for next time. You know what I mean? I don't want to scrape anything off higher, because I've got all this other stuff is dry inside the bucket. I don't want to get any of that scraped down there. I can take that last little bit and throw in there like that. That's all I'm gonna do, and then I'll be able to clean up. I'm gonna clean up all the stuff off my knives, my drywall knives, all that kind of stuff, and my paintbrush. And I've already wiped around where I poured this out. Where I poured it out, I've already pretty much wiped underneath here, and I don't really want to do much with this. I know I'm going to get in here another time, so I don't have to do anything much. If this was the last time I was going to be in here, and if I had a gallon left in there, 3/4 a gallon, 2 gallons, whatever, I clean off this edge after it dried, clean all that up underneath the edge and stuff, so that I could put, when I put this back on, it's going to seal nice and tight. But then I would take a piece of plastic, I cut a piece of plastic yay big, push it right down into my material, and then I close the lid. Now can you see why I would do that? Because once I put the lid on and smash it down, I'm going to have this much air from here to here inside the bucket. That air is going to dry out the top of my material, whether it be drywall mud, paint, or my roofing material. So if I was going to set this bucket in the garage for the next 6 months to a year without getting into it, that's what I would do. I'd put that plastic down there. That way when I pull it up next time, I'd have to lift that plastic up out of there. Can you see there? That is going to keep everything tight and all that. But because I'm going to get into this tomorrow or the next day, I've got it nice and cleaned and all the material back down in there. Now I can snap this on. I want to make sure it snaps all the way around, and I believe it has. You don't want it to not have been snapped anywhere, especially if you're going to store it. You want it all snapped down nice and tight. Okay, that's going to assure me the only air that I have in there is from here down, and that should be fine for 2 days. 6 months from now, no. A month from now, probably, nah, probably not. I'd still put the plastic in. Don't think, oh, I'm going to get into it in a month, and then I'm not going to put that plastic. Joe's full of it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's fine. And then you don't, and then you pull this can out of your garage or in your storage a year from now, and when you pull it off, there's going to be skin on top of that, and a little light bulb is going to go off in your mind. Oh yeah, you're going to remember this video on what Video Joe told you what to do. Okay, remember that. I got probably, oh, I'm guessing a gallon left, and I'm pouring on the back side so I don't get it all over on the front of this, in case I need to get more of this or whatever. I always like to do that. This is just like cake batter, see? That's all it is. And then I just clean this edge off because I don't want it to dry on there. Put it back on the inside. Okay. That's all. Well, that's ready for my next go, and I should just set this lid on it, especially if it was sunny. You don't want that top to skin up. Okay, and before I poured that bit in there, I cleaned out the edges on the inside corners of that pan and put that stuff in the middle because I don't want that stuff to ever dry. The old stuff that I still had in the pan, because I don't want it to dry, skin up, or cause little rubbery bits to get in the rest of my stuff before I skim out those next steps. You see what I'm saying? Always be ready for your project.